is number 8, Amarion Brooks. The offensive line, right to left, Tommy Tinsley, Adam Trinkle, Peyton Chad, Evan Durst, and David Klakoto. First down and 10, Lake Central. The Indians team is 3-0 and has found its way into the RSN top 10 for the first time in recent memory. As the officials are going to check the football.
A ball issue. Deflategate 2021.
Dun, 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 dun. We got to ask Evan. He's a Lake Central alum, RSN personnel. Are you deflating the footballs, man?
Nothing to do with it.
Apparently not. Okay.
Famous last words over there from.
They get the bad football off. They get the new football on. And we're ready to begin. First play, handoff, Xavier Williams. Ball's on the ground. Uh-oh. And Crown Point recovers. Bulldogs with a huge momentum play. And the thumb from Xavier Williams might have been a problem. He injured his thumb last week, had a fumble after the injury when he came back into the game. Xavier wearing a brace on that left thumb tonight, and he fumbles on the very first play of the day.
Yeah, he does. His body language does not look good right now. He's shaking his head, trying to figure out if he's able to continue on, but it does not look good for Xavier Williams right now moving forward.
And that's a huge, huge potential loss if he's not able to carry the football. 426 yards and 6 touchdowns through 3 games for Williams. First change of possession happened after the first play. Now J.J. Johnson, handoff to Elijah Taiwan. Bowls over a few Lake Central defenders, close to the first down marker at the 14-yard line. Second down and 1, Bulldogs.
Yeah, they're a very ground-heavy team. They're going to keep the ball on the ground, try to possess the football, and just move the ball down the field here methodically.
Well, they've got a big offensive line. Let's meet them right to left. Jack Darlington, Jackson Roos, Nicholas Cicero, Logan Poporinsky, Aiden Durick, the starting lineup on the offensive line. The handoff to the back, Elijah Taiwan, slips out of a tackle in the backfield, gets the first down close to the 10-yard line, and the chains move.
Yeah, it's always nice to get to get start in your territory here. They're already in the red zone and moving the football with that big behind that big offensive line.
237 yards on 39 attempts coming into this game for Elijah Taiwan, the junior starter running back. Junior starting at quarterback is number 2, J.J. Johnson. Landon Delich wearing number 11, a sophomore to look out for, and Nathan Woodrick wearing number 18, as well as Bodie Barant wearing 16. The players to watch out for on the Crown Point offense. Play action pass. Johnson had Mulaski, pump fakes, fires, and was looking for Randy Latch, the tight end, down on the route that time. He's caught a touchdown today. And they've got a lot of height at the tight end position, Crown Point. Seamus Mulaski at 6'5", and Randy Latch also at 6'2". Tight ends might be a target for Crown Point, especially in a run-centric offense.
Yeah, off the play action. But Johnson made a great decision there. Throw it to the long jump pit and make it survive to see another play.
Second down and 10. Ball at the 11. Still could get a first down without scoring. First play of the game was a fumble from Lake Central. Xavier Williams wearing a thumb brace, put it on the ground. The handoff goes Taiwan. Another play to him. Every play's been to him. Maybe a yard to the 10. And it's third down and 9.
Big play here. See if Lake Central defense can get a stop. Hold Crown Point to 3. Anytime you get a turnover like that, you want to try to limit the points and the momentum. Keep the vibe going tonight. It's a beautiful atmosphere for high school football.
And defensively for Lake Central, they're missing a few key players. Carter Schuster with a broken foot. Max Kriesbaum was expected to play tonight. He won't due to a knee injury. That moves Mikolajczyk, the star linebacker, down to the defensive line. You see him with his hand down at the bottom of your screen. Blitz coming. Johnson got rid. It's into the arms of his intended target, who slipped out of tackles and is into the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Bodie Barant, for the first time this year, finds the end zone.
That was a great job by Johnson. I don't know if you saw, but he kind of looked to the left, moved the safeties this way, and he had a little bubble screen on the right-hand side. That was great execution, and the Bulldogs couldn't ask for a better start for tonight.
And the junior Barant opens up the scoring, capitalizing on the opening play turnover from Lake Central. And that right there was the first points scored this year against the Lake Central defense. And it belongs to the Bulldogs and Bodie Barant. Touchdown on the field means we take a break. Crown Point up 7-0. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Big welcome back. Lake Central High School. We're at the burial grounds in what's technically St. John, Indiana, but very tiny town and a couple other towns separated. You pull up your weather app, it won't say St. John. Unless you got really good location services, then it might. So Crown Point will kick it away. Lake Central down 7-0. A fumble from Xavier Williams was capitalized on by Crown Point, who scored the first points against the LC defense this year. Sam Brewer, the kicker. And this one will make it into the end zone where it's a touchback. If you touch the end zone, automatically a touchback. Can't bring it out in high school. And that'll bring out this Lake Central offense once again. And we only saw one play, and the sophomore Williams fumbled. We'll see if it's Xavier Williams. His best friend on the team is Amarion Brooks, another sophomore running back who's been getting some run this year when Williams has been off the field. We'll see if his best friend since middle school gets involved to help out Xavier Williams.
Yeah, he's got about half the carries as Williams, but he might have to carry a big load here tonight.
26.
He's back
Williams
out there.
Walking out on the field, just gave his helmet 2 taps. Bulldogs, an early touchdown from Bodie Barant. Lake Central, 1 play, 1 turnover. 1st and 10 from the 20 again. They trust Xavier Williams, who breaks through a few tackles and is off to the races. A first down out to the 40.
Well, it's like you mentioned. You saw him kind of hit himself in the head there. A lot of times you have an injury, it's mental, it's emotional. You got to get past it. It's either you can go or you can't. So he did that's a great response for the young man, and I'm glad he's back out on the field.
And it's 1st down and 10 from the 40, a 20-yard run after a fumble.
Crown Point set up in a 3-4 defense, 3 down linemen.
Man in motion is Ace Henry, back from injury this week. The handoff went Brooks, who maybe got a yard. And 2nd down and 9. Now, Ace Henry is a huge part of this team. Was expected to be out with injury today.
That was number 52, Nico Pelk, on the bottom of that pile. They did a great job of plugging holes there and limiting what Williams could do there in the backfield.
And that's definitely a number to keep an eye out. You see in the slot on the top part of your screen, Diego Garcia at the very top of your screen. In the slot position is Ace Henry, the junior wide receiver. Play will be a running play to Marion Brooks, who's hit hard in the hole. Dom Sopsack on the first tackle there. And it's 3rd down and 9.
And Cameron Geathers was also in on that. Again, when you run in a 3-4, you run your linebackers and just start plugging holes. It gives the linebackers a chance to find where the ball is and try to string it outside for your backfield.
On the defense for Crown Point, quickly, a 3-5-3 technically. Zach Rossell, Nico Pay, Eli Davis, Dom Sopsack, Liam Begley, Matt Woods, Cody Goodwin, Dominic Bader, Brett Kroll, and Bodie Barant. 90, rolling left, eyes downfield, under pressure and sacked. Brought down from behind by Matt Woods. And the senior forces a punt from Lake Central.
That was a great job by Crown Point defense to pressure the quarterback, not allow him to set his feet.
And it's 4th down in a punting situation. It'll bring out Diego Garcia, the punter for Crown Point. Lake Central, rather. Garcia this year, 34.4 average on his punts.
Number 14, Dominic Sopchak's back to receive the punt.
Garcia hits it right down the middle of the field. It takes a Crown Point bounce. Nice job by Lake Central to keep it from going any further. But Bulldogs will have pretty good field position here, Doug.
Yeah, you take this all day. Coach Mazzia, again, like I mentioned, he'll take their time, be methodical, use that tight end that you love, and try to just take the air out of the ball here a little bit.
214 wins for Craig Buzia. Took a decade break, though, before he came on back. And high school football changed quite a bit in those 10 years.
Well, Coach Mazzia has also been fighting some health issues. I don't know if you're aware, but he's a fighter, and he's one of the best coaches in the region, and I'm glad to see him back in Indiana.
Quick throw from Johnson, going to be brought in and brought down the intended target. As Woodrick, the senior, on the catch. And it's second down and 6.
Good quick reception for the quarterback. Allows the defense, or offensive line kept the defensive off the quarterback and get rid of it quickly so we can get the ball off the field.
J.J. Johnson, 25 of 43, coming into this game for 256 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 picks. Another $150 on the ground from Johnson. A lot of talent between him and Taiwan, the 2 juniors that lead this offense. And whistles on the field. No timeout taken. Or was there?
Yes, by Crown Point.
And the Bulldogs did take a timeout. So we'll go ahead and take a timeout with them. 7-0 Bulldogs in the lead. They use their first timeout of the half. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
It's been said that one man's junk is another man's treasure. But at Total Disposal, your junk is our junk. Think of Total Disposal as that key player that has several options: commercial, residential, or hand off your junk at our Blaine Street Partners transfer station. Total Disposal is more than a service provider. We are an innovator for a sustainable tomorrow, well beyond the curb. For a complete list of services, go to TotalDisposal.com. Honesty and dependability, that's the Total Disposal promise.
Big welcome back. As Greg Buzia just took a timeout. I said he took 10 years off coaching. I meant in the state of Indiana.
There you go.
A little more technical.
Yeah.
Spent 10 years coaching in the great faraway state of Illinois. Johnson fumbled the snap, and he fell back on top of it. Hunting him down for the football was the Lake Central Indians. And right there on the play was Ben Spang, one of the backup linebackers that's been asked to step up today. You're missing 2 starting linebackers from this linebacking unit for Lake Central, a team that has been really strong defensively. That's a hard to replace, but Ben Spang in the backfield there forced a 3rd down and 12 by being on top of him.
Yeah, good teams have depth, and they have guys next man up mentality. And with the youth of Crown Point, they might be throwing some things at their line they haven't seen yet. So it'll be interesting to see how they adjust as we move on here.
3rd down and 12. Johnson eyes downfield and nearly intercepted. Knocked down by the defensive back. Looked like Andre Cedeno on the break up there. Junior outside linebacker stepping up. One of those linebackers that'll need to step up today. And really, the Bulldogs fortunate it wasn't an interception.
Yeah, that was a great job by him, man. He got out there. He got to the flat area, read the quarterback, and he's done their homework. That was a look that they prepared for.
Brewer, the punter, 32.7 his punting average. That one's a nice one. It'll bounce at the 20, take a Lake Central bounce, and they'll get the ball just inside the 25-yard line for their 3rd drive of the game, although penalty marker down. So we'll wait for what this flag is and see exactly where Lake Central will start their next drive. And personal foul on Lake Central, so push them back, Doug.
That might be half the distance to the goal. Again, they haven't had the field position that Crown Point had early on here. That's not the way you want to start a game for LC.
Well, and it's a tough pill to swallow if you're Lake Central, that the first points of the season you gave up defensively came like that, because they just started outside the 20-yard line.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just Crown Point had all the advantage in the world. Lake Central's barely allowed teams in the red zone. In their first defensive possession of the day was in the red zone.
Yeah.
And now they're losing the field position battle after a personal foul back to the 12 That's where the Indians start their drive.
Yeah, we've talked about it before, Lucas, in other sports as well. The team that makes the fewest mistakes is going to win tonight. And, you can't shoot yourself in the foot and put yourself in a bad spot.
And a penalty marker down.
Yeah.
But it's going to be on Crown Point.
Yeah.
So no shooting of the feet by Lake Central. Instead, Crown Point lines up offside. It's a 5-yard penalty, and it makes it 1st down and 5.
Let's see if Lake Central can sustain a drive here a little bit, eat some clock, and move the football. So far, Crown Point's defense has done pretty well.
This Crown Point defense allowing 28.3 points per game this year. That's really kind of ruined by allowing 50 to Maryville a week ago.
Well, they had to give up 50 in the first half to Maryville.
Handoff goes Brooks, tries to bounce in between tackle and guard, and is brought down after a yard. And it's 2nd down and 4.
I think a lot of people are going to have a hard time with Maryville this year, but those are the ones you look back at and you learn from and move on.
This Lake Central team, 28-0 win against Munster, 42-0 win against Hammond Morton, and then a 14-7 win here at the Burial Grounds against Portage. It's their first DAC win since before COVID-19 was even a thing. And that pass is incomplete. And it's 3rd down and 4. Looking for the marker on the sidelines. Intended target was James Graham III.
Yeah, I think the points could be hard to come by tonight. I think, again, as long as you maintain your field position and do your job and stay disciplined and try to keep the officials out of the game and let the flag stay in their pockets, just play football. But it's going to be a rock'em sock'em kind of night, I think.
A rock'em sock'em situation here. 3rd down and 4. Some confusion from the Lake Central front. And timeout has to be called. Amarion Brooks going left, going right, and a smart timeout taken by the quarterback, Luke Knighty. We'll take a timeout as well. Indians trying to claw their way back. 7-0 Crown Point. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
The team of sports medicine experts at Orthopedic Specialists of Northwest Indiana is committed to getting athletes back in the game, with a focus on not only helping patients recover from injuries, but helping improve athletic performance to prevent injuries. Orthopedic Specialists provides the most advanced, comprehensive care to their patients. To learn more about all orthopedic specialists can do to help rehab and prevent athletic injuries, visit them on the web at osni.org or call them at 219-923-3300. Orthopedic Specialists of Northwest Indiana, providing world-class care to Northwest Indiana for over 20 years.
Not the smoothest start in the world for both of these teams, but a competitive start. 3rd down and 5. It's a short 5, more like 4. Line to gain the 22-yard line. Coming out of a timeout for Rick Good and his Lake Central Indians. Man in motion, Ace Henry. Handoff goes Williams up the middle. He has the 1st down. Nice job from Williams to angle his way and still move forward and get himself the 1st down.
Yeah, the line did a great job there. They did their job. They created a hole for Williams, and he did a good job of hitting the hole hard and getting enough for the 1st down. And try to move the chains and get some momentum here, get some rhythm to this game. It kind of lacks rhythm so far.
1st down and 10 from the 25. Line to gain the 35. Knighty so far taking all the snaps at quarterback, but you'll see Johnny Sorensen now and again. Handoff Williams again. Tried to work the line, but couldn't find a hole, and he ends up with about a yard loss. But I think that's the subtle thing that Williams has there. A lot of younger running backs. I mean, remember, Williams is a sophomore. Doug, they wouldn't have worked the line. They would have taken that wide banana shape and lost 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah. Sometimes you just take what you can get, but get back to the line of scrimmage. Tackle there by Jeremy Brown, number 32 from Crown Point, did a good job on the outside, containing his end.
2nd down and 10. Handoff Brooks. Won't find much. And 3rd down and long now for Lake Central. But this rhythm for both of these teams relies on the run game.
It does.
Both of these teams have done really well in the linebacking core early in this game. It doesn't feel like there's any room to run for either of these teams.
Well, that's part of the chess match, and we'll see how, like you mentioned, the tight ends will become active here and see if the receivers can get open down the field, maybe take a shot.
Bodie Durant, the lone touchdown today, came with 10:01 in the first quarter. 11-yard pass from J.J. Johnson put Crown Point ahead. That was after a fumble on the first offensive play of the game from Lake Central. 90, eyes downfield. Zips one over the middle. It's incomplete. Over the head of his intended target, James Graham III.
Crown Point did a good job of getting off the field, get their offense back on the field. The Leidy looked a little hesitant there, and they had two receivers in the same spot down here around the 45, so they're still a little out of sync here early on here in the first quarter.
And Diego Garcia on the punt. Yeah, Crown Point really just took advantage of a great field position. That's the only way we've scored tonight.
Yeah, that's what good teams do.
Fair catch called for and made. Sopchak with the fair catch in near midfield. Start Crown Point again. Field position battle, there's no doubt about it so far, Doug. It is the advantage of the Bulldogs. Everywhere else, it's been pretty even, but they could use great field position and be up 2 scores heading into quarter 2.
Yeah, and it's just kind of leaning on Lake Central. You know, it's nothing fancy here. Just take care of the football and execute. But again, I think that Lake Central did give up a touchdown early on, but you're seeing the strength of their team is their defense, and they're doing a good job so far of just trying to withstand this until they can flip the field position later on.
And a big part of that defense, number 6, you'll see him roaming the safety position. Mateo Cortez wasn't even expected to play safety this past summer. He's running through the hole, J.J. Johnson, and tripping him up right up the middle. Guess who? Mateo Cortez to keep it from being a first down, but it's still a nice 6-yard run on first for Johnson.
That was a little future telling there, Lucas. That was a little. You did some homework. That was good work.
Yeah, you know, I also got really lucky.
And that helps too.
I broke a broadcast. I was supposed to wait for Cortez to do something, then say that.
Well,
but, you know, because of my future telling ability, I reversed it.
He heard you, Lucas. He heard you.
Well, his team can hear him. At least that's what Coach Good says, one of the most vocal leaders on the team, and that's a false start. Push back Crown Point 5. So that 6-yard gain on first erased by a penalty on the next play, and it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, number 88 on the end, the tight end, Randy Locke, kind of jumped. He must have been had his number called. You get a little excited there. Again, you just don't want to hurt yourself. You know, you got to stay within the chains. Keep yourself the down and distance, something you can manage.
Especially against this Lake Central defense.
Yeah.
Coach Good poured credit on his defensive coordinator, Jimmy Vasquez. Talked about all the passion he demands from his squad. They've got pretty good coverage here. Johnson fires on the run. It's intercepted. A beautiful pick on the sideline. Big-time interception from Max Welty. His 2nd pick of the year, and Lake Central evens up the turnover battle and gets themselves the best field position they've had all day.
Yeah, that was a little force there by the quarterback, and Welty did a great job. He kind of baited him. You know, he kind of made it look like he was open, and kind of what a defensive back's supposed to do. But it made a great play in the ball, and this is that field position we were talking about with Lake Central. We'll see what they can take advantage of it.
Now, that was on the far side of the field, and this is a field with a track, so that was tough to see. But by my first look, I thought maybe Welty got that one-handed right out of the breadbasket of the intended Crown Point receiver.
Yeah, it was great hands there by the young man. Good size young man, too, for a defensive back here in high school football.
Great play from Max Welty, sets up this Lake Central offense. Handoff Williams, he bowls over the 50. Into Crown Point territory for the first time go the Indians. It's 3rd down and 6. And 2nd down and 6. Right?
2nd down and 6. Yeah, just keep moving the football. Keep moving the clock. Keep moving the football. Nothing else what this does, it does flip the field, you know. So, again, it's a long football game. It's not going to be won in the first quarter, but you can lose it. You know, we've said that in basketball as well. So, we'll see how they keep here moving forward.
Well, this Lake Central defense has answered the bell after allowing their first points of the year early in this quarter. Pitch goes Williams. And he's upended and slammed down after just a yard. 3rd down in a long 5. Line to gain the 43-yard line.
That was the play there. Number 14, his name might not be called with the tackle, Dominic Sobchak, but he turned it back in toward his middle linebackers, and and sometimes you don't get every tackle, but do your responsibility and help to get a defensive stop. That's a great job there by 14.
A lot of seniors in this linebacking core for Crown Point. They've shown well tonight. 90 rolling left, eyes downfield, found a hole in the zone. It's complete. First down, Indians.
Well, he had a lot of room there. The secondary really backed off. I don't know if it was a mix-up in the defensive coverage or what, but that safety surely dropped off. He was off 7 to 10 yards.
That was Diego Garcia's first catch of the game and a first down for the Lake Central punter. I always loved that in high school. And now 1st and 10 from the 40. Line to gain, the Crown Point 30.
Oh boy.
And a false start. Xavier Williams went early. Ace Henry was the man in motion, and it just looked like the timing between everybody on when that snap was supposed to come just a touch off.
That looked like a forced or a called quarterback keeper maybe to the right there. And he had a man in motion, and he had the run back out in front ready to block, but got to work on that timing. And again, like we mentioned, just stay within the chains and keep within your game plan.
Well, and Ace Henry is a significant add to this lineup. He's expected to be the leading receiver this year. Wasn't listed on our depth charts for this week, but he's been in motion, and we'll see if that timing just takes a second to get back. Another false
Did it
start.
again.
And 1st and 20 now.
Based on the numbers we've seen coming in, Lake Central would rather be in a position where they can run the football. They don't want to throw it very much, but it's still first down, I understand, but you start getting in a distance here where you're kind of forced a little bit, and the defense can pin their ears back and go get the quarterback, so we'll see how they handle this situation.
Well, only 23 pass attempts coming into this game for Luke Knighty. Only 29 total pass attempts coming into this game for Lake Central. Less than 10 a game so far.
Right.
Knighty pulls the football. He's keeping it himself. Mean stiff arm as he crosses the 45 and gets to the 44.
He did a good job. He picked up about 6 there. That was a nice job by him. A good read. Pulled it out of the belly of the running back and got what he could there.
2nd down and 14 after a 6-yard gain. We'll see if Lake Central elects to switch sides as the quarter ticks to an end, and they will elect to switch sides. End of quarter 1. Bulldogs grab the lead just a minute, 59 seconds into the ball game. They've held it since then. Indians try to bite back when we return. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
At Toyota of Maryville, we take pride in being a one-stop shop for anything Toyota related. The best part of the Toyota Maryville experience is that we make it easy to do business with us. We have a committed team of professionals that's here to help you do just that. When you come in for service, we will welcome you and have plenty of staff on hand to handle your needs. And if you're looking for a new or pre-owned vehicle, Toyota of Maryville sales team is the best in the business to help you with your buying decision. We practice what we preach. When we say we make it easy, that's exactly what we do.
Java Wave at your local Family Express is the perfect way to get your day started or keep you moving at any time. With 12 freshly ground bean-to-cup flavors to choose from, Java Wave at Family Express has just what you're looking for, whether it's hot or iced coffee. To see all of the delicious flavor options and to find a Family Express near you, log on to familyexpress.com/Java Wave.
Big welcome back to the Burial Grounds. Big night for Lake Central football. First time they've been 3-0 since 2012. Quite a few Lake Central fans in the house, including a full student section. But on the far end of that stadium, hey, Crown Point Bulldogs brought their student section as well. Absolutely jam-packed. Indians, first play of the second quarter, a 2nd and 14. 90, option pitch left, and the option pitch got fumbled by Ace Henry, who fell on top of it. Luckily, it was live.
Yeah.
And it's 3rd down and long.
Yeah, he looked hesitant. You've got to be very decisive. If you're going to run the option, you got to know what you're going to do. You can't have second thoughts. That's what happens right there if you do. But again, here you got 3rd and forever. I don't know if Lake Central's got too many plays in the playbook for this situation.
3rd down and 21. The line to gain the 30 of Crown Point.
This might be a situation where maybe you go get half of it. You try to get half. Don't get all of it.
3rd down punt. I've seen that.
Yeah. A little quick kick.
They won't do that here. They'll fake the handoff Henry and give it to Williams, who's dragged down by 3 Crown Point defenders.
Yeah.
And it's 4th down and punt time for Lake Central.
Yeah, and they trust their defense. They don't have to go do anything fancy. Stay patient. Understand it's a 4-quarter ball game. Maybe your special teams here can pin Crown Point back a little bit and continue to do what you're doing and play good defensive football.
This Lake Central offense has averaged 28 points per game. They've been blank so far. And their turnover really the only reason there's points on the board.
Yeah.
Garcia's punt will take a friendly Lake Central roll inside the 10 and down at the 7.
Yeah.
And this Lake Central defense, chance to get after it with the Bulldogs offense starting inside their own 10.
Yeah, the special teams did their job there. That's a great job by the punter, and they did a nice job of getting down there and marking it.
And now this Crown Point offense, we've seen Johnson to Barant as the lone scoring play of the day. Outside of that drive, though, what have you thought of the Crown Point offense?
Again, the whole game's been a little bit sporadic. The rhythm seems a little off. They're trying to move the quarterback outside of the pocket, and like you mentioned, a little play action. But it all starts with their running back and see if he can handle the football.
Johnson in the backfield with Taiwan. He gives the ball to his running back, Taiwan, who slips out of an arm tackle and then bowls forward close to the 1st down marker. And the chains do move. Taiwan did end up getting the 1st down.
Yeah, that's a great job by the line. Created a good hole for Taiwan and he maintained the football, and they're trying to get out of the shadow of the end zone. So they're trying to move get some field position here.
And from the 17, Crown Point, a 1st and 10. Johnson will keep it himself, follow his big blockers through the hole, try to dart towards the sideline where he's brought down. Would have been a 5-yard gain, but he tried to make a big play out of it. And that's where Max Welty ended up bringing him down, the man that made the interception for Lake Central to kill the last drive for Crown Point.
Yeah, that was a great pursuit by the defense. They were kind of stringing him out, bouncing him out. It almost looked like he had a chance there to break it, but the team speed of Lake Central limited Crown Point there.
And this secondary for Lake Central is awfully impressive. Mateo Cortez, Max Welty, Nick Arcella, Ace Henry on the far side of the field getting some time. Johnson, quick throw, and it's incomplete.
Ooh.
A triangle of Lake Central defenders converging on the intended target, Randy Latch.
Yeah, that's you using the tight end there. It's almost like, last night you watched Brady and Gronkowski working together.
Special.
That's a lot of people try to mirror that, but he was trying to thread the ball in there, and luckily he didn't get picked off. We're right through the tight end's hands.
Would have only been about a 2-yard gain.
Right.
Now it's 3rd down and long. Under 10 on the play clock. 3 on the play clock. Johnson snap off. Under quick pressure, it's a draw play, a very creative draw that Taiwan will get close to the 1st down marker after. But in the mix of that was J.J. Johnson getting obliterated in the backfield.
He did. That was, they're going for it here, Lucas. They're going to see, they hurry up and get it to the line. See if they can draw him off sides.
No, they do snap it. Johnson following blockers. 1st down. He's got some more room to run.
Yep.
Works the sideline and is pushed out of bounds across the 40. 1st down on a quick 4th down for Crown Point.
Yeah, that might have caught Lake Central off guard a little bit. I don't know if they were set and ready to go, but that was a great job by the Bulldogs of going forward a little bit and deep in their territory.
And is this the rhythm you're talking about for Crown Point? You get Johnson, then Taiwan, then Johnson, then Taiwan, then quick pass. Is this where you want Coach Bazia's team to sit?
I think so. It just feels more smooth, and eventually maybe you get a receiver involved also. Get somebody past the defense.
1st and 10. Handoff, Taiwan slips through the hole again and across the 50. 1st down markers at the 49 of Lake Central.
Coach Bazia has always been that way, and I know he's not probably calling his plays, but made his mentions. He's very simple. He's got very just up. This is very up the middle stuff. Tight end, possess the football.
It's just the big men up the middle. Cicero, Roos.
Yeah.
They're just moving people on the offensive line.
Yeah, it's I'm going to beat my guy kind of stuff, and coaches, it's not the new stuff that we see on TV all the time, but it works.
Johnson escaped a sack, open man downfield, caught, and he's brought down at the 10-yard line. Nathan Woodrick.
That's what happens. You kind of lull the defense to sleep a little bit. We're going to run. You pull your safeties up, and the guy got behind him. That was a weird play. It was like everybody kind of stopped. That was odd.
Looked like Andre Cedeno was in the backfield. He missed the sack, and Johnson stepped up and found a wide-open Woodrick downfield.
Nope.
Bad snap, mishandled from Johnson. He takes off after it and gets inside the 5. Don't think that was a designed run, but once you fumble the snap, Johnson made the smart decision and sprinted forward, 2nd and goal.
He was good just to maintain the football. That's a good quarterback. Just get what you can and hang on to it.
And now Crown Point slows down. They've been playing with a bit of pace. Now they'll take their time before the 2nd and goal.
Yeah, they're not going slow. They're taking their time and setting it up. But it's not necessarily no huddle, but they're being patient.
Johnson brought down. And it looked like first in on the tackle for Lake Central was Nick Engelhout. Plays a little linebacker and defensive line for this Lake Central defense.
Again, in this situation, Crown Point just want to make sure he gets something out of it. Looks like they're going to call a timeout.
And I like this timeout from Coach Buzia. Crown Point trying to go up 2 scores, a 3rd and goal when we return. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
If you work with industrial, pneumatics, or hydraulics, and you're in need of maintenance or repair, you need the right connection. For over 20 years, Hose Connections in Hammond has been the premier leader in the hydraulics industry. Hose Connections is a one-stop shop for sales and service of pneumatics and hydraulics. Hose Connections continues to grow their network of industry contacts, which allows them to meet even your toughest expectations. To learn more, visit HoseConnectionsInc.com. Hose Connections in Hammond. Proven under pressure.
Coach is a little more.
Crown Point trying to go up 2 scores here. Doug, they're 3rd down and goal from the 5 and a huge timeout on the far sideline for Crown Point. What do you think they're coming out with here?
I don't know if you run a play action. You got your tight end. You mentioned,
Lasky and Latch have been involved today.
Yeah, those guys have got a couple touchdowns already this season. So, roll them out, give them some options, and see what happens.
Johnson going to follow a parade of blockers, spins off a tackle. He's short. Johnson is short. And it's 4th and goal from the 2.
Yeah. I don't know if you run the same play. Why not?
Crown Point moving fast. This Lake Central defense only allowed 7 points on all year long. They've allowed 7 today, and now they've allowed 13.
Yeah.
J.J. Johnson dives in for his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And Crown Point up 2 scores.
That was just, we're going to run our guys right to the left side, and we're going to put more guys there than you, and we're going to move the line. That's all they did, and that's how it's very simple, but it looks good when you get it done right.
2-yard touchdown run from J.J. Johnson. So we await the extra point from Sam Brewer, 6 of 7 this year. Kick is up, and it is good. And it's 14-0 Bulldogs. About half of the 2nd quarter still remaining. Indians are going to need to climb back down 14. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Are you a steel hauler? Come work for Area Transportation. You must have a current valid Class A commercial driver's license and at least 1 year of recent verifiable steel hauling experience and at least 2 years of recent verifiable interstate experience operating a commercial motor vehicle.
Hi, I'm Amanda, the driver recruiter at Area Transportation, where we pay more because we value our drivers.
Call recruiting at 1-855-400-6939. That's 1-855-400-6939.
There are new vibes around the Lake Central Indians. A 3-0 start, their first since 2012. But now they're down 14 as the Crown Point Bulldogs and J.J. Johnson just marched down the field to go up 2 scores. This is the largest deficit of the year for Lake Central. This is the longest they've trailed, and this is the most points they've allowed on defense. It's everything. So now you face the first real challenge of the year if you're Lake Central, and if you're Crown Point, Old Mo is all in your favor.
Absolutely, and if you're Coach Good from Lake Central, you're interested to see how your team responds. It's easy when you're the front runner and you're winning and everybody's patting you on the back, telling you how good you are. Let's see how we respond when we're up against it a little bit.
Henry on the return. Henry broke through some tackles. Gets out to the 50 where he's knocked down. Amarion Brooks on the return. And the shifty sophomore might have just injected some life into Lake Central. Much needed life, Doug.
Yeah, they needed some energy, but I'm impressed with that kicking. That kicker he's gonna watch that on film. That Samuel Brewer, he got the tackle. Those are the things that they love, and he was excited after that little pop. But this is exciting for Lake Central. Exactly what they need here, about right before halftime.
Doug, the student section saw the same thing you did. Chants from Crown Point. Samuel Brewer.
That's the stuff they live for that.
As Luke Knighty, the senior quarterback for Lake Central, leads his offense back onto the field. He has his eyes downfield. Clean pocket to throw from. Completed to Henry. Henry inside the 30. Henry inside the 20. And he's pushed out of bounds inside the 10. Welcome back, Ace Henry.
Ace Henry's a quick young man. Jeez Louise. That was good execution, and, Lake Central's doing a good job here so far.
And a big-time play for the Indians. Their first adversity of the year.
You got to finish a drive. It's looked good so far. Great return, great play. See if you can finish and drive and get some points up on the board.
First down and goal. Handoff Williams. Little shimmy and trying to use the pile. Maybe got a yard or two.
Yeah.
This Lake Central team, Doug, this feels huge. The crowd is loud.
Yeah, they're
very loud.
They're just waiting for something to be excited about. Again, we talked about it. Great student bodies for both teams, and it's
large student bodies for both teams.
Absolutely.
Too. Large alumni bases.
Yeah, and and it's one of those things where we talk about every week. It's not just about the guys on the field. The fans, gives them something to do, and the vibe is very electric tonight.
Man in motion, Henry. Handoff goes Williams. Broke a tackle, falling. Did they give it to him?
I don't think so.
No, short. Maybe the far line judge, I thought I saw him flash his hands, but he did not. And I think that's the right call, though. Xavier Williams, 2 yards short. The bounce off the turf took him into the end zone.
The near side official marked him pretty early. Much shorter than I thought he was from here. But he's doing a great job hitting holes and again, see if Crown Point can plug some holes and get in the backfield.
Well, and at this point, you haven't had your kicker take a field goal all year. He won't on this series.
No.
This is 2 plays for 2 yards. Under center, a sneak from 90. Does the pile push him?
I don't think so.
No, it went sideways. And the quarterback sneak, unsuccessful.
4th down.
And a huge, massive, momentous 4th down for Lake Central.
Yeah, you have to go for it. This is about you challenge your line a little bit. Both teams are, and see if you can gain 6 inches. That's what it comes down to.
Got to think Xavier Williams here. He's the running back behind 90. Handoff Williams, easy 6.
Great job.
And the Indians saw their first adversity of the season and answered and have cut into this Crown Point lead.
That was an impressive drive. Of course, it started with the return, but I love how they responded. And, Lucas, we got a ball game. It's going to be a fun one.
And Owen Denny on to take the extra point for Lake Central, a key extra point if this is going to be a fun one down the stretch, Doug. Those singular points often can be the difference. Denny hasn't missed a PAT all year, and he won't start now. Indians cut into the lead of Crown Point, and they bounce back from adversity. Bulldogs get the football next. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Today's coverage is brought to you in part by Centier Bank. With branches across Northwest Indiana, Centier Bank is a proud member of communities throughout the region, and they stand firmly behind their not-for-sale commitment. To learn more about how Centier Bank provides wow banking and investment experiences in Northwest Indiana, visit them online at Centier.com. For over 113 years, Burns Funeral Home and Crematory has been assisting families in their time of need. Serving Northwest Indiana, the staff at Burns Funeral Home and Crematory will help guide your family in creating a meaningful ceremony to honor the life and memory of a loved one. Whether it's a simple, elaborate, traditional, or unique service, the caring family at Burns Funeral Home and Crematory will tailor a ceremony to fit your needs. Visit them on the web at burnsfuneral.com or give them a call at 942-1117.
Listen to the student section of Lake Central. We've got a fun environment here at the burial grounds. The most fun Lake Central fans have had since 2012, you could say. 2014 maybe, 2015 maybe. So the kick is away to Crown Point. And Sopchak tried to break some tackles and find room, but he won't be able to escape the Lake Central kick coverage. And at the 25-yard line is where Crown Point will begin their next drive.
Yeah, there's a lot of energy. Teams are getting a little excited and a little chippy on special teams, and we'll see if Crown Point can get the ball to halftime and hanging on to the lead.
The scoring opened in this game, 10:01 in the first. Bodie Barant from 11 yards out, a pass from J.J. Johnson. That was following a fumble from Xavier Williams, who just scored the first touchdown of the game for Lake Central. The touchdown sandwich between those was a J.J. Johnson 2-yard run on a beautiful drive, the last drive that Crown Point had. Now Johnson will try to repeat that feat on this drive. Handoff goes Taiwan. He goes the opposite way the play's designed and ends up with about 2 yards.
It was great pursuit again by the defense, keep him inside. The outside linebackers stayed out there on the far hash and turned it back up, and the pursuit was there, and Lake Central trying to get off the field and get the ball one more time.
Make sure you stay with us. For halftime, we have the first and second half. We have the first half recap, second half preview. That's the Host Connections halftime report.
He's got a man.
Johnson has a man open, looking for his tight end, and it's intercepted.
That is intercepted.
Picked off by Ace Henry. Unbelievable play.
Did you see back there? He was covering two people. That quarterback chose that one, and there were two people going deep. And he made a great play on the ball.
And guess who he made it against? 6'5" sophomore Seamus Molaski.
There you go.
And Ace Henry, who's only 5'10" and a junior, just mossed him. And Lake Central, they have grabbed all the momentum. It is in their grocery cart, and they are sprinting towards self-checkout.
Absolutely. Again, great field position and quick change turnover like that. You see how Lake Central reacts. Are they going to try to take their time and be methodical, or are they going to try to take a shot themselves?
We'll have a lot to recap in the Host Connections halftime report. That's brought to you by Host Connections, proven under pressure. Make sure you stay with us after this 3 minutes and 21 seconds passes. Lake Central following the interception from Ace Henry. Pitch goes Brooks, and he'll get about 2 yards.
You run a sweep over there to the short side of the field. It's a pretty conservative start to this drive with about 3 minutes left to go.
Second down and 7 now. Xavier Williams with a touchdown that cut this Crown Point lead in half. Lake Central faced their biggest deficit of the season so far.
Let's see if Crown Point defense is on their heels a little bit. They got a couple safeties back.
Man in motion. Keon Harris and a false start. Someone went early.
Yeah. And the linebackers from Crown Point are really creeping up. That shot might be there again to see if the receivers from Lake Central can get behind the secondary. But those linebackers from Crown Point are really creeping up and filling holes.
Second down and 12 after the penalty. And if you want updates from around the region, follow all of tonight's region football scores live on the Strack and Van Til Hometown Scoreboard, streaming on Facebook.com/Region Sports and RegionSports.com. Strack and Van Til, your local grocer with over 89 years of Heritage. Keon Harris, the man in the slot, now the man in motion. They'll hand off Xavier Williams, and he's brought down. Big play. Alex Grabala, the senior, solo tackle on Xavier Williams. You don't see too many of those.
You know, again, Lake Central's being really tentative here going into halftime, and if I remember correctly, Crown Point deferred, right? They get the ball coming out. So it'll be interesting to see how the Indians handle the last 45 here, you know, in the first half.
Now it's 3rd down and 13. It might be more trust of the defense.
3rd and long.
90, looking downfield, under pressure. Got it off, but incomplete. Nobody really knew where the football was on the back end.
Yeah.
Diego Garcia, the intended target. Sopchak on the coverage.
Sopchak did a good job keeping the receiver in front of him there. That wasn't going to happen again. But see if Lake Central special teams can pin Crown Point back a little bit, and then it turns into their turn to see how they're going to handle the last minute and a half. So a lot left to be decided here before the halftime buzzer.
And the intended target on the last deep ball now trots out to punt the football, and Diego Garcia. And a nice punt. Fair caught by Sopchak. And how interesting, the two guys involved in the last play just are also involved on this one with a punt and a fair catch. So that's where Crown Point begins. You got one timeout in your pocket. If you're Crown Point, do you utilize it? Do you try to gain momentum? You've turned the ball over now twice, so that can be in the back of your head as well, though.
Yeah, I think you run a couple of running plays, and if you break one, then you decide, hey, we're going to try maybe get a field goal. But otherwise, I got the lead. Let's just try to get out of here at halftime with a lead on the road.
Johnson, another fake throw handoff. Got blown up again. He's going to take a huge hit on that every time.
Yeah. That's a little delay draw play. You know, again, they're playing it safe. And see if he breaks it, then we call timeouts and hurry up a little bit. But otherwise, we're just moving the clock and try to maintain possession.
2nd down and 5. Hey, it's a nice design, but your quarterback taking a blind shot every time is rough.
If I'm the quarterback and I hear that play call, I kind of wince a little bit.
Be like, come on again.
Yeah, one more time.
Sells it well, though. Johnson goes for a one-on-one matchup. Man. Has a man in stride. It's caught.
Oh.
Inside the 25 goes Landon Delich.
That's the kind of play that Coach Good's not going to like that one tomorrow morning in film time. You cannot let the defense or the receivers get behind you. There's a limited time here. You know, now Crown Point's going to pick it up and run, try to get some points head into halftime, but that's Coach Good cannot like that play right there.
Remember, the Bulldogs get the football to start the second half. Line to gain is the 14. Tossing, end zone, target, Delich again, and he caught it.
That's a touchdown.
Touchdown, Bulldogs. Landon Delich. Moss is right back.
I think Crown Point found a matchup they like. It seemed that way. They're kind of singling out that side of the field on that defender. But what a great throw and a great reception. A little tug of war for the ball there, and the offense wins that.
Delich was the leading receiver on this team, but had yet to catch a touchdown. That's the first of the year for the sophomore. Literally wasn't targeted through most of the early portions of this game. 2 huge plays back-to-back, and a big-time 21-7 lead for Crown Point after Brewer knocks through the extra point. We'll have the final throws of the first half when we return. Bulldogs on top. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Gen Z is a stalled generation.
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital.
I put out a forest fire.
I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives.
And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
A 25-yard touchdown toss, J.J. Johnson to Landon Delich. But Delich had almost 70 yards of receiving on that drive alone on 2 plays. Back-to-back, one-on-one matchup, and Delich won it both times, including a beautiful catch in the back of the end zone. Lake Central's had a couple Randy Moss moments on defense, snatching the ball out of Bulldogs' hands, and Landon Delich answered right back, but this is the only one that mattered for points. And Crown Point up 21-7.
Yeah, he's 6'3". That's a nice target for your quarterback. Give him a chance to throw the ball up in the air. Uh-oh.
And the ball loose on the kickoff, but falling on top of it, luckily, Lake Central. And that would have been all kinds of bad for the Indians here at the end of the half. Remember, Crown Point gets the football to start half number 2, and that's why that touchdown is so critical, because they have an opportunity to find a way to have Lake Central not see the football and then be down 3 scores midway through the third quarter.
Yeah, that's kind of, again, that's what we talked about. The Crown Point offense kind of lulls you asleep a little bit. They just run the ball, use your tight end, and then all of a sudden take a couple shots. But, again, coach is going to work on that one tomorrow, and they'll learn from it. But I don't know where the safety was. Like you said, it was one-on-one. I don't know where the help was.
And this Lake Central defense that allowed 0 points heading into this one, another false start on that motion play. We'll see what Rick Good says in the halftime locker room to correct that. I mean, that's 3 penalties on the same type of motion.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the center's fault or, again, the timing just seems weird.
Make sure you stay with us for the Host Connections halftime report once these final 23 seconds tick away. Also, at the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Crown Company's Landry-Man Superhero of the game. We'll also name the IKORCC Play of the Game and the Great Lakes Roofing Blue Collar Player of the Game. 90, handoff, Williams up the middle. Won't even get back to the original line of scrimmage, and that, I would guess, is the last play of the half. We'll see how Lake Central reacts. And they're going to walk in the locker room.
Yeah, he's probably just at this point with the momentum going the other way. Let's just get in the locker room, regroup, and we'll fighting chance here the last 24 minutes of the ballgame.
Bulldogs went up 14-0. Then it felt like Lake Central was storming back. And Crown Point scored just before the end of the half, and they're the team jumping for joy heading into the halftime locker rooms. Halftime report on the other side of the break. Bulldogs a 14-point advantage. You're listening and watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Station 21 American Grill, with its 32 TVs, provides a family-friendly atmosphere where fans can relax and enjoy their favorite sports. Station 21 invites family and friends to enjoy a neighborly conversation, a friendly staff, and a comfortable environment before and after the game. Burgers, pot roasts, steaks, homemade soups, and more can all be found at Station 21 American Grill in Crown Point.
Ethos Dental Group in Munster, Crown Point, and Cedar Lake offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Stojkovic and Associates utilize the latest in technology. Ethos Dental Group would like to join you in welcoming Dr. Emily Hansen to their team. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, Munster, Crown Point, and Cedar Lake.
Blythe's Athletics in Valparaiso, whose team has been serving your team since 1959, is a leader in athletic apparel and equipment sales. Whether it's off the rack or customized to your specifications, Blythe's has the products and staff to serve you best. Trophies, embroidering, screen printing, athletic shoes, anything you're looking for, you'll find at Blythe's. Visit them today at teamblythes.com, where the athlete shops.
Smoothie King in St. John blends goodness to fuel your greatness. Located directly across from Lake Central High School on Wicker Avenue, Smoothie King can help you rule the day, every day, with a variety of smoothies that support your lifestyle and taste buds. This fall at Smoothie King, there's a pumpkin for every purpose with 5 organic pumpkin smoothies, including the Keto Champ Pumpkin, Pumpkin Vegan, Pumpkin Delight, Pumpkin Coffee High Protein, and Pumpkin Slim and Trim. Visit Smoothie King at 8235 Wicker Avenue in St. John, directly across from Lake Central High School, or find the menu online at smoothieking.com/menu. Smoothie King in St. John, proud to support the Lake Central Indians.
The Centurion Award from Century 21. It represents prestige in real estate. Winning one is an honor. Winning it multiple times describes a dedication to excellence. It also describes David Taylor of Century 21 Crown Point. When buying or selling a home in the region, you want to deal with a fixture of the region with a caring approach that has also earned him Best of the Region awards. Add your name to his list of satisfied clients. David Taylor, Century 21 Real Estate. Find out more at davidtaylor.c21.com and start packing.
Did you know?
They decorate over 210,000 cakes a year.
Did you know?
Their butcher will cut your meat your way.
Did you know?
They have trained floral designers in store.
Did you know?
They will make your wedding cake.
Did you know?
They have a variety of deli bakeable entrees.
Did you know?
Their online app has coupons and so much more. Who does that?
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
Hi, I'm Crown Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals, and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like health care and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Tech Credit Union is the better option for personal and business banking. Buy a car, remodel your home, pay for an education, expand your business. Tech Credit Union can help you do these things and more. You'll enjoy the latest banking services, but without the cost of the big bank relationship. With branches throughout the region, fee-free ATMs nationwide, and online services, they're convenient too. Learn more at techcu.org. Contact any branch or call 800-276-TECH. Tech Credit Union is an equal opportunity lender and federally insured by the NCUA.
Wow. You're watching the Hose Connections Halftime Report, brought to you by Hose Connections on Kennedy Avenue in Hammond. Visit them on the web at hoseconnectionsinc.com. Hose Connections, proven under pressure. 21-7 the halftime score. Doug Nelson to my left, I'm Lucas Moore. Crown Point with a lead. It felt like this game was going to be real tight heading into halftime, and now we're sitting in a situation where Crown Point scores with just 24 seconds left in the half. After two deep passes to their sophomore receiver who we hadn't seen today in Landon Delich. The second one is a Moss-type toe-tapping touchdown on the back line of the end zone, and that gives Crown Point a 21-7 lead and a chance to add to that lead as they start with a football in half number two. Doug, two plays changed the entire outlook of this ballgame.
You know, I'm excited to see how they responded. Last week they kind of got beat up a little bit against Maryville, down 50 in the first half. They've come out, and like I mentioned before, Coach Bezia is a great motivator, and he'll have his boys ready to go week in, week out. So what a nice and they're a young program, and there are much brighter days ahead for the Bulldogs. I know there's a long way to go here moving forward in this one, but both teams have some youth that are exciting to watch.
Well, and we were just talking a few seconds ago, Doug, how different region football can be when Lake Central is good.
Yeah.
How it makes it at least competitive.
Right.
Not necessarily the best, but competitive. Because look at all these people that are here. I mean, you can't really see it on the television, but you'll see when Joe pans left and right and up and down, you'll see all these people here. This is a full crowd. This is a loud crowd. You hear it on our crowd mic. This is high school football at its finest. And the more Lake Central people come, the more they'll come to road games, the more intense the environment will get, and it'll just build up and up and up. And I think this matchup between Crown Point and Lake Central has a chance to be a really special little rivalry with both of the youth. You've got two great coaches in their first year. I mean, this Week 4 game could become a barn burner year in and year out.
Yeah, and it's kind of a good midway test for both teams. You know, they're about halfway through the season. And
second conference game.
Both teams are going to get into the meat of their schedule. And the Doolin's no joke this year with Michigan City and Valpo and Chesterton all receiving votes. I mean, they're great, strong programs year in and year out. But this is a beautiful facility, Lucas. And you can see the people over here that leaning on the rail. You know, you got the marching band doing a great job out there right now. Again, it's in the student bodies having a great time, and the cheerleaders are enjoying it. They had Pop Warner kids out there at halftime.
Bunch of tailgates before the game.
I'm telling you. And, you know, and Lake Central is the biggest school in the area. We talked about over 3,300 kids. That's like a small college. So, yes, Lake Central, a good Lake Central football team is good for region football. And Coach Good will get them there. Again, both teams are in the same sectional. They're both in sectional 1. So, you know, this is just a midway, kind of a midterm exam to see where they're at. And both teams are there. And the things that they're failing at are fixable. You know, if you're talking about the first play of the game was a turnover.
Yep.
That's fixable. You know, the defense getting burned there at the end of the half.
That's
the same play. That's a teachable moment. You know, that's the thing that Coach Good will do that and say, we can learn from this. Let's move forward and compete for the last 24 minutes of this one. And they'll use this as a catapult toward the rest of the year.
Right now they're down 21-7 Lake Central. Crown Point. If you want to talk about rivalry, Bulldogs aren't ready to talk rivalry with Lake Central yet. They've won 7 straight matchups against the Indians. They're staring at 8 straight with a 21-7 halftime lead. That Bulldog locker room has got to be awfully confident right now, Doug.
Well, again, especially after being shaken a little bit last week. You know, Maryville's a legit, state contender, and they kind of took it to the Bulldogs a little bit. That's a rivalry. And, again, for Coach Vizia to kind of right the ship with his staff, and he's got a bunch of veteran, some Hall of Fame people on his coaching staff with Coach Maddox and Coach Wells and many others. And they've been through these before. They've been through the good times, the bad times. And as we mentioned before, it's a marathon, and they'll have their boys playing well here moving forward toward the end of the season.
Crown Point Bulldogs leading by 2 scores. Crown Point will start with the football to begin the second half. And that's the second half of our Host Connections halftime report, brought to you by Host Connections on Kennedy Avenue. Host Connections, proven under pressure. Visit them on the web at hostconnectionsinc.com. Crown Point gets the ball to start half 2. We'll preview the second half on the other side of the break. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
It's been said that one man's junk is another man's treasure. But at Total Disposal, your junk is our junk. Think of Total Disposal as that key player that has several options: commercial, residential, or hand off your junk at our Blaine Street Partners transfer station. Total Disposal is more than a service provider. We are an innovator for a sustainable tomorrow, well beyond the curb. For a complete list of services, go to TotalDisposal.com. Honesty and dependability, that's the Total Disposal promise.
The team of sports medicine experts at Orthopedic Specialists of Northwest Indiana is committed to getting athletes back in the game, with a focus on not only helping patients recover from injuries, but helping improve athletic performance to prevent injuries. Orthopedic Specialists provides the most advanced, comprehensive care to their patients. To learn more about all Orthopedic Specialists can do to help rehab and prevent athletic injuries, visit them on the web at osni.org or call them at 219-923-3300. Orthopedic Specialists of Northwest Indiana, providing world-class care to Northwest Indiana for over 20 years.
At Toyota of Maryville, we take pride in being a one-stop shop for anything Toyota related. The best part of the Toyota Maryville experience is that we make it easy to do business with us. We have a committed team of professionals that's here to help you do just that. When you come in for service, we will welcome you and have plenty of staff on hand to handle your needs. And if you're looking for a new or pre-owned vehicle, Toyota of Maryville sales team is the best in the business to help you with your buying decision. We practice what we preach. When we say we make it easy, that's exactly what we do.
Java Wave at your local Family Express is the perfect way to get your day started or keep you moving at any time. With 12 freshly ground bean-to-cup flavors to choose from, Java Wave at Family Express has just what you're looking for, whether it's hot or iced coffee. To see all of the delicious flavor options and to find a Family Express near you, log on to familyexpress.com/Java Wave.
If you work with industrial, pneumatics, or hydraulics, and you're in need of maintenance or repair, you need the right connection. For over 20 years, Hose Connections in Hammond has been the premier leader in the hydraulics industry. Hose Connections is a one-stop shop for sales and service of pneumatics and hydraulics. Hose Connections continues to grow their network of industry contacts, which allows them to meet even your toughest expectations. To learn more, visit HoseConnectionsInc.com. Hose Connections in Hammond. Proven under pressure.
Are you a steel hauler? Come work for Area Transportation. You must have a current valid Class A commercial driver's license and at least 1 year of recent verifiable steel hauling experience and at least 2 years of recent verifiable interstate experience operating a commercial motor vehicle.
Hi, I'm Amanda, the driver recruiter at Area Transportation, where we pay more because we value our drivers.
Call recruiting at 1-855-400-6939. That's 1-855-400-6939.
Today's coverage is brought to you in part by Centier Bank. With branches across Northwest Indiana, Centier Bank is a proud member of communities throughout the region, and they stand firmly behind their not-for-sale commitment. To learn more about how Centier Bank provides wow banking and investment experiences in Northwest Indiana, visit them online at Centier.com.
Big welcome back to the Hose Connections Halftime Report, brought to you by Hose Connections on Kennedy Avenue in Hammond. Visit them on the web at HoseConnectionsInc.com. Hose Connections, proven under pressure. Doug, right now the score, 21-7 Crown Point. We'll preview the second half in just a second, but right now, this scoreboard update brought to you by Strack & Van Til. Strack & Van Til, your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. Here's some scores that we just got from our wonderful friend Nathan Laird. You can get them easily at the hometown scoreboard, facebook.com/Region Sports. Doug can pull it up on his Facebook app right now. It's super easy to check a score from anywhere. Here's the latest updates we have. Maryville up 21-6 over Doug's Portage. That's at half. Highland 29, Hammond Central 12. Last update we got. Valpo 21, Michigan City 14 at half. Doug, I saw you getting updates on that one.
I'm trying.
And that's a big DAC matchup tonight. Hobart, big-time lead over Culver Academy, 35-6. The game here, Crown Point 21, Lake Central 7. Chesterton up 28-6 over LaPorte. Andrean up 21-0 over East Chicago. This is all first-half scores. Hanover 21-7 over River Forest. Lowell 42-7 over Griffith. Highland, again, up 29-12 against Hammond Central. Munster 14-8 in the second. KV up 20-0 over North Newton. Whiting up 14-6 over Calumet. And South Newton up 20-8 over Lake Station. That's in the second quarter as well. That's your hometown scoreboard update, brought to you by Strack & Van Til. Shop online for delivery or curbside pickup at strackandvantil.com. Any specific scores stand out for you there, Doug?
There's a lot of good ones there. The Calumet score shocked me a little bit. Is that Whiting Calumet, I believe?
Yes.
And, Whiting's doing a great job. They're well coached. Brett Jennings does a great job over there. But Calumet's off to a good start. So there's a lot of good football in the region this year, Lucas, and we're kind of spoiled. We're spoiled this year with the Doolin's very strong. Andrean's having a great year, had a good start. So, it's going to be an exciting run here as we get closer, and the weather kind of gets a little chillier, and with the lake effect and all that fun stuff. But I think we're in for a fun run here toward Thanksgiving.
Right now, let's take a look forward to the second half. To me, the matchup is this Crown Point offensive line, which has really moved Lake Central up front against Lake Central, and their really scrambled up defense. Carter Schuster is a key player on this defense. He's out for the season with a broken foot. Max Kriesbaum had a knee injury. He's out as well. That forced Mikolajczyk, probably your best linebacker, arguably, to move down to the defensive line. Now you got Ben Sprang back there. It's just a tested front seven, and it feels like Lake Central's responded by putting players into the box, and now they're really vulnerable over the top. I think the matchup is the front seven for Lake Central against the offensive line at Crown Point, especially 2-score lead for Crown Point. If they can just run the football, they might only need one touchdown in half number 2.
Yeah, again, this plays right into Coach Bazia's hands. He's great at of milking that clock, taking the air out of the football. But it's going to come down, like you said, like we talked about here in the press box. It comes down to the trenches. Who controls the line of scrimmage? Does the defensive line and the linebackers have to sell out a little bit, where they kind of leave your defensive secondary on an island? So we'll see how that adjustment's made here by Coach Good and his staff, and this first possession for Crown Point is pretty important. We'll see how they can handle the ball and see how Lake Central adjusts here coming out of the half.
Well, and the first offensive possession for Lake Central, no matter what happens for Crown Point, is going to be critical. It feels like an almost must-score situation, especially if the Bulldogs have some sort of long drive. Then it's without a doubt a must-score. What have you seen from Lake Central's offense? Xavier Williams hasn't necessarily had that get up and go that he had in the first 3 weeks. Maybe that's the thumb brace that he's wearing. We're not really sure. Where do they go to offensively, Lake Central, to try to find some production?
Boy, how fast was Ace Henry? You got to get him the football. That might be a little swing pass. That might be a bubble screen, something, a little, sprint out, something. Get the football in his hands. He was fast. So you got to, players make plays. And he seemed like a guy that could break the defense and get above the secondary. So I think you got to find a way to get the ball in his hands as much as you can.
Ace Henry coming back from an injury. It wasn't necessarily 100% to go this week, and he ends up on the field on Friday night. We'll see if he gets more involvement in half number 2. There might be another Lake Central that gets some involvement in half 2 that we didn't see, but we'll wait for him to come on the field to confirm that. Could be significant for the Lake Central front seven. Rick Good, 2020 Coach of the Year. He's going to have to find a way to find the right words that he's already given to his team at halftime. We'll see if those words impacted Lake Central. Legendary coach Greg Buzia, over 200 wins in his career in just the state of Indiana. He's got his team ready as well. Both those squads go at it in the second half when we return. This has been the Host Connections Halftime Report, brought to you by Host Connections on Kennedy Avenue in Hammond. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
For over 113 years, Burns Funeral Home and Crematory has been assisting families in their time of need. Serving Northwest Indiana, the staff at Burns Funeral Home and Crematory will help guide your family in creating a meaningful ceremony to honor the life and memory of a loved one. Whether it's a simple, elaborate, traditional, or unique service, the caring family at Burns Funeral Home and Crematory will tailor a ceremony to fit your needs. Visit them on the web at burnsfuneral.com or give them a call at 942-1117.
The news says Gen Z is struggling. I've got news for them.
I wait tables, but last week I built a field hospital. I put out a forest fire. I stopped 1,000 attackers.
And a natural disaster.
I've saved lives. And led a team on patrol.
I serve.
Well, I go to school full-time.
While I work full-time.
The greater the challenge, the stronger we become.
Station 21 American Grill, with its 32 TVs, provides a family-friendly atmosphere where fans can relax and enjoy their favorite sports. Station 21 invites family and friends to enjoy a neighborly conversation, a friendly staff, and a comfortable environment before and after the game. Burgers, pot roasts, steaks, homemade soups, and more can all be found at Station 21 American Grill in Crown Point.
Ethos Dental Group in Munster, Crown Point, and Cedar Lake offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Stojkovic and Associates utilize the latest in technology. Ethos Dental Group would like to join you in welcoming Dr. Emily Hansen to their team. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, Munster, Crown Point, and Cedar Lake.
Blythe's Athletics in Valparaiso, whose team has been serving your team since 1959, is a leader in athletic apparel and equipment sales. Whether it's off the rack or customized to your specifications, Blythe's has the products and staff to serve you best. Trophies, embroidering, screen printing, athletic shoes, anything you're looking for, you'll find at Blythe's. Visit them today at teamblythes.com, where the athlete shops.
Smoothie King in St. John blends goodness to fuel your greatness. Located directly across from Lake Central High School on Wicker Avenue, Smoothie King can help you rule the day, every day, with a variety of smoothies that support your lifestyle and taste buds. This fall at Smoothie King, there's a pumpkin for every purpose with 5 organic pumpkin smoothies, including the Keto Champ Pumpkin, Pumpkin Vegan, Pumpkin Delight, Pumpkin Coffee High Protein, and Pumpkin Slim and Trim. Visit Smoothie King at 8235 Wicker Avenue in St. John, directly across from Lake Central High School, or find.
And we're underway as Lake Central will get a touchback off the opening kickoff of the second half, and Crown Point will begin with the football and an opportunity, Doug, to take full control of this game and put Lake Central and all its fans here at the Burial Grounds in a panic position.
Well, again, when Lake Central scored to tie it at 7,
they cut into the lead.
Or they cut it in half, 14-7.
It felt like they tied with how excited this crowd got.
Yeah, and I think they had possession of the ball where they could have tied it or something. But the electricity was great here. The great student bodies were going back and forth at each other. Lake Central, again, needs a play here. They need a turnover of some kind.
And Crown Point's offense begins at the 20-yard line. J.J. Johnson hands off Taiwan, a massive hole up the middle. The middle three on this offensive line for Crown Point have dominated in the first play of the half. More of that. Just the guard center guard combo up the middle for Crown Point dominating so far.
Yeah, that front five for Crown Point's really done a good job creating holes for their running backs, and that delay play's they've been there all night. Again, you're leaving your safety, your secondary in a bad spot with that play.
First down and 10. Same motion as before. Mulaski and Latch in motion. Handoff. No, not Taiwan. They're going downfield. Cedeno in pursuit. Incomplete pass as Johnson escaped the sack from Andre Cedeno.
Yeah, that was almost the defensive coordinator for Lake Central. That was a great call there. They came with the same look, the same people in motion, like you mentioned, did play action out of that. It was kind of predictable. You could almost feel that play action coming.
The coordinator for Lake Central, Jimmy Vasquez, he demands passion from his defense, and defense is desire. We'll see what desire Lake Central has here in the second half. Handoff Taiwan, and he's wrapped up in the backfield. Nice job from the Lake Central front after they're blown up on the first play. Back-to-back plays of a good showing.
Yeah, that was that same delay draw play, and Crown Point, the hole that was there in the first play were not necessarily there in that one. This is a big third down here for Lake Central.
Third down and 11. Line to gain, the 41-yard line of Crown Point. Seamus Mulaski, one of the tight ends. They were running a 2 tight end set. He comes off the field. Nathan Woodrick replacing him. Landon Delich had those 2 big catches at the end of the half. He's on the top part of your screen. Johnson looks left, tosses right. It's in the hands of Woodrick. And he pushes forward close to the first down marker that's at the 41.
See if they hurry up and go for it on fourth down here. Last time they did this, they hurry up, got back to the line of scrimmage and called the play. See if Coach Mzia rolls the dice again.
Now, it doesn't look like there's any motion to punt. And it looked pretty intentional to throw short of the sticks.
Yeah.
But for Lake Central, honestly, if I'm an LC fan, I kind of want them to go for this. This is an opportunity to have great field position.
You've got to get off the field here just for momentum's sake.
Massive fourth down, early third quarter, and the entire Lake Central defense jumped. About 5.
The old hard count.
And everybody jumped.
Yes, sir.
No pointing fingers in the film room tomorrow. That's everybody.
You can't deny that one.
And a free first down for Crown Point. And you hear, "You can't do that," echoing through the stadium. First and 10. Johnson to Taiwan. Taiwan a first down. Bowled over a man and then got inside the 40. Chains move again. Offensive line moving the Lake Central defensive line again for Crown Point.
Lake Central kind of sold out there. They brought their linebackers for a blitz, and once the running back got past that first level of defenders, he had all day to run.
This Lake Central defense did take the ball away twice in the opening half. The handoff goes Taiwan. He's dragging defenders close to the marker, and he might have got there on a first down carry.
That's the kind of thing where that's demoralizing to the defense. You know, you're getting beat by one guy with the football. So this is the kind of at the point of the game where you can kind of take the will out of Lake Central a little bit of the air out of their balloon.
I think the real problem for Lake Central is 70, 77, and 73. The 300, 280, and 265-pound men that make up the middle of their offensive line. This time, a toss to the end zone. Got him for a touchdown.
There's a flag.
Jameis Molaski scored, will await the penalty. And false start. And it'll push the play back to make it a 2nd down and 6 after what looked to be a touchdown pass to Molaski in the end zone.
Again, the Lake Central secondary and middle linebackers are kind of pulling up, selling out. That was a great setup play by the offensive coordinator by Crown Point. Just a little slip up on the line there, but again, they're in great position. They're moving the ball, doing about whatever they want to do right now.
Well, and they had me sold. I was all for run play there.
Yeah.
And that's when you know your play action's working, when you're getting the broadcasters. Although, Doug, I'm sure you weren't fooled.
No, I've seen Coach Mazzia coach a couple ball games, but
handoff goes Taiwan. A little bit of an over pursuit on the back end from Lake Central, and it's close to the first down marker. 3rd down, big 3rd down here.
When you have a running back and a line that can move the chains like he's doing right now, that just sets so much up for the Bulldogs offensively.
Well, and it starts to bring the question of what is the path back for Lake Central?
Well, you got to get a stop. And it's what you said earlier. It's that front four for Lake Central's really got to step up and move the line of scrimmage backwards. That's what they have to try to do, but they're not doing very well at that right now.
3rd down and 2. Johnson keeps, and he's blown up, but past the marker. And a first down for the Bulldogs.
Again, Crown Point's moving the chains, but like you said, Lake Central's got to, put some pressure on the quarterback and maybe put some pressure on their the running back and maybe take a guy to try to take him out of the game. But then that's when you get your long shots down the field.
And they're going to take a measurement here. Looked on first guess that he was across the line.
I think he was, yes.
But they'll have to measure. Let's see how good Joe is at zooming.
That is close.
Real close.
There you go.
And it's a first down. By the nose of the football. And with 8:12 left in the 3rd quarter, Crown Point threatening to make it a panic situation for Lake Central, threatening to make it more of a cliff than a slight upward slope for the Indians. Johnson tosses over the middle, and it's incomplete. Delich was the intended target near the goal line, but it bounced harmlessly to the turf.
Again, that was a great job by the defensive front there by Lake Central to put some pressure on the quarterback and speed him up. Maybe he got rid of it maybe just a little quicker than he wanted to.
2nd down and 10. Eight minutes, 1 second. All that remains in quarter 3. But all 3 minutes and 59 seconds, it's been in the possession of Crown Point. The opposite of what you wanted to happen, what you needed to happen if you're Lake Central. Taiwan goes right edge, gets nice yardage on 2nd down, and brings up a 3rd and manageable.
Yeah, that's a really nice run. And again, the right side of the line's really pushing the defense back. Lake Central's really got to make a stand here. I know, high school sports, he can change quickly, but right now the body language just doesn't look real good for Lake Central.
Something might need to happen here at the burial grounds. Johnson, handoff Taiwan again, and he won't get the first. It's 4th down now for Crown Point.
That's 4th and about half a yard, maybe 3/4 of a yard.
And another opportunity for Lake Central to maintain not just hope, but legitimate, realistic hope in this game, Doug.
That's a lot farther than I thought it was. I was way off, but that's about a yard and a half there, Lucas.
4th and a long yard. And a quick turn to the line.
Timeout.
And a timeout taking Coach Good. A critical situation. Coach Good is determined, and he uses one of his second half timeouts. 21-7 Crown Point, Bulldogs threatening. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
The Centurion Award from Century 21. It represents prestige in real estate. Winning one is an honor. Winning it multiple times describes a dedication to excellence. It also describes David Taylor of Century 21 Crown Point. When buying or selling a home in the region, you want to deal with a fixture of the region with a caring approach that has also earned him Best of the Region awards. Add your name to his list of satisfied clients. David Taylor, Century 21 Real Estate. Find out more at davidtaylor.c21.com and start packing.
Where's the outside mic at?
Did you know?
Wow, they'll prepare fresh fish while you wait.
Did you know?
They make over 40,000 donuts from scratch every week.
Did you know?
They offer 23 different deli platters for your party.
Did you know?
They have freshly chopped fajita mix ready to cook.
Did you know?
They have the best fried chicken in the area.
Did you know?
They offer our signature curbside service 14 hours a day.
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
Huge, massive, critical, insert synonym of importance. 4th down and 2. Crown Point up 2 scores, trying to make it 3. Lake Central trying to get a stop.
No.
And it's an easy first down for Johnson. And he's dragged down inside the 10. Goal to go now for Crown Point. And Lake Central not looking good right now.
Well, that was the same play they scored down here in this end zone. So they just load up that left side. They're the same setup again.
Johnson poking his way through a massive body, stretching and scoring. J.J. Johnson makes it 27-7 Bulldogs.
Yeah, that's just simple football. They're going to put about 8 guys on that side of the line and see how you react. And, all the quarterback had to do was hang on to it.
Second rushing touchdown of the day for J.J. Johnson. His 4th total touchdown. 2 through the air, 2 on the ground. And the junior quarterback been involved in all 28 points as Brewer makes it 28 with the extra point and a 3-score deficit for Lake Central. The nightmare scenario happened for the Indians. It's a long road back. We'll see if they can make it. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Hi, I'm Crown Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialists.
Crown Point kick away from Samuel Brewer. And this will be a kickoff return. Looked like he stepped in the end zone. And Brooks will fall short of the 20. Kind of wish he would have stepped in the end zone. A reminder that Mary Uran and the Parks Athletics Communication and Entertainment Department invites everyone to Bulldog Park to celebrate Oktoberfest on Saturday, October 2nd. Join us for the region's premier fall festival. If you're also looking to buy or sell a home in the Chicagoland area, the Tiffany Dowling Group of Keller Williams Realty are the ones you want to call. They'll get your home sold faster and for top dollar. Most importantly, they'll make it an experience you can enjoy, and we all love that. That's the Tiffany Dowling Group of Keller Williams Realty. Lake Central, first down and 10 from their own 18. Handoff goes Xavier Williams, a nice 6-yard carry on first down. And the first play of the second half for the Lake Central offense, Doug, and it comes with 6:20 left in the third quarter. That's the nightmare for Lake Central, was allowing 7 points and 6 minutes off the clock, which is exactly what happened to start half two.
Yeah, again, when you go into a lead or going to halftime with a 2-touchdown lead and the ball coming out, that's all that Crown Point could have asked for. And Coach Bazia has always been very good at, like I said, taking the air out of the ball and keep that clock moving.
Now it's about hunting on defense for Crown Point. Just a yard for Williams on a dump pass. Third down and 3 now for Lake Central.
Yeah, this is a big play. That they want to stay on the field, or this could get ugly here quickly for Lake Central if they don't convert right now.
Third down and 3. First 3-0 start since 2012. Quarterback Luke Knighty told the Chicago Tribune he thinks they can start 5-0. Well, they got pretty close. They'll need some magic to find 4-0. And a whistle on a false start on the same play. And no argument from the coaching staff and Coach Good on the sideline. So it must be something that the kids are doing. Because when you see a penalty like that happen on the same play, you start to wonder if the official and the coach have like a crossed wire somewhere.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like much complaining from the Lake Central sideline.
Yeah, it seems to me it's that far side official. They keep seeing the same thing. So I would hope that they can adjust that and try to get rid of that flag for the rest of the ball game tonight.
Well, third down and 8. Luke Knighty under pressure. He's going to try to step up, but he's blown up for a sack. Too easy for the Crown Point defense, and they get off the field on third down.
Yeah, that's a big play by Crown Point. Right now, they can put their ears back and they smell blood, and they're taking full advantage of it.
And that was middle linebacker senior Matt Woods on the sack. We've called his name a few times tonight. And this Crown Point defense has really shown their strength. It was a unit that's allowed 28.3 points per game. A lot of that was playing Maryville, who dropped 50.5 on them.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
As Garcia saves that ball from going in the end zone, barely gets the punt away, and it'll take a very friendly Crown Point bounce to the 25-yard line. And now the Bulldogs can go from a commanding to a dominant advantage.
Yeah, look at the energy for Crown Point right now. This is a dangerous time for the Indians in this ball game. So we'll see how they can, see if they can keep the Bulldogs out of the end zone here moving forward.
Well, it would be a short drive for Crown Point. It would also probably be a short drive to Toyota of Maryville. We want to thank them for sponsoring high school football right here on the Region Sports Network. And when you're looking for your next new or pre-owned vehicle, visit Toyota of Maryville. Toyota of Maryville, we make it easy.
Yeah, if you're Coach Bazia and the Bulldogs, you just want to keep the clock moving at this point, and then Lake Central will sell out here, and you take a shot down the field and get it when you want.
Johnson fakes a run, throws over the middle, and incomplete. Just off the fingertips of Randy Latch, the intended target over the middle.
Latch a big tight end, and he's a big target. Just missed it. He hasn't been able to hook up with his tight ends tonight very much.
When I had a chance to see Crown Point a couple weeks ago against Andrean, they were going up against the best defender in the region, arguably in the state of Indiana, in Drake Bowen.
Yeah.
Possibly a future Clemson Tiger in the future mega conference whenever he makes it to college football.
Or future Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Yeah, it could be independent. You don't know. Notre Dame better join a conference. Seems like everybody's joining one nowadays.
Yeah.
Johnson will follow his blockers on a 2nd and 10, get close to the marker at the 15-yard line. And this Crown Point offense has really found room to move today, and their number one strength running up the middle was kind of erased when I saw them against Andrean, and now you see the full potential of Greg Bouzie and his offense.
Well, you also got a race last weekend against the size and speed of Maryville. I mean, that's just that's another level. They're really clicking right now. But
well, they won't play another team like Maryville except maybe Valpo's. Taiwan got the direct snap and gets the first down inside the 10.
Yeah.
Schedule upcoming for Crown Point. At Portage next week, home against Valpo, home against LaPorte, at Chesterton, then home against Michigan City.
The Duneland, it's brutal.
It's brutal.
It's such a grind.
But when you get Maryville out of the way first,
well, sure,
it's normally a downhill type of grind.
But Valpo's are right there also. I mean, they're also very strong, and so is Michigan City.
Another direct snap to Taiwan. He's bounced around at the 5-yard line where he's brought down. 2nd and goal now, Crown Point.
Yeah, Crown Point's in no hurry right now. Keep the clock running. Just try to maintain possession of the football. Lake Central is really trying to get a stop, maybe hold them to 3.
Yeah, it just feels like you need a turnover if you're Lake Central. It's really, remember, 2 interceptions in that first half from Lake Central. If you don't have those, it might have been this score at halftime.
Yeah.
Taiwan direct snap and a walk into the end zone. Nobody touched him. And nobody's touching Crown Point tonight.
No.
34-7 Bulldogs. Elijah Taiwan, touchdown number 2 on the year. First time on the ground, had 1 through the air earlier this year. And a big-time advantage for Crown Point, and it's hard to imagine them letting it go with the way their defense has played tonight.
Yeah, again, they're just moving the ball. They're doing what they want to do. It's almost like they're just messing with things out of their playbook right now.
Kick is up. It is good. And Sam Brewer remains nearly perfect on extra point. Only 1 miss this year. Crown Point, 28-point advantage. Lake Central, big deficit. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialists.
35-7 Crown Point. You see the score. So does everybody in this stadium. And that's muted a bit of the momentum for Lake Central and their fans, as quite a few of them making their way to the exits with 14 minutes and 42 seconds left in this one.
Yeah, again, this is one that, there's sectional opponents. At some point you realize, it's 35-7. We're down 4 touchdowns. But Coach Good he's been doing this. He's not new at this. He's been at this for a while. He's been successful at other schools. So he'll use this. They're undefeated early on. The whole town probably telling you how good you are. So this kind of brings you back down to earth a little bit.
Nearly a fumbled kickoff. You saw it scoot forward a few times and it might have popped out at the bottom of the pile. Crown Point jumping around. They might have it. Yep.
Oh, boy.
And anybody that isn't heading to the exits that had any inclination might be grabbing their stuff now, and nothing's gone right for Lake Central. Since that moment that this crowd got earth-shakingly loud, where we thought Lake Central had grasped the momentum and was going to sprint forward in this game with a 3-0 record and a changed culture and atmosphere, since that point, it's been 21-0 Crown Point, and now they have the football inside the 35.
Well, again, we've talked about it. That these are two programs that are going to go in the right direction, and they will get there in time. It's exciting to have this good a rivalry that both teams are playing well and well coached, and this game will pay off for both teams moving forward.
Johnson taking a shot, nearly intercepted. Diving defensively on the play was Nick Arcella. Nearly had himself a pick. Again,
one game doesn't make or break your season. It might hurt ego a little bit tonight. Maybe tomorrow, coach will be, I told you. I told you this was going to happen. I told you.
Well, you can't take away a 3-0 start for
Yeah,
Lake Central
absolutely
either.
not.
I mean,
Absolutely
it's still
not.
a historic start. This is a 1-9 ball club last year.
Yeah.
This is a team that the last time they had even won in this conference, let alone been competitive, was before COVID-19 even happened.
Like I said, the Doolin is so strong, it doesn't wait for people to catch up to you. You know what I mean? If you're weak for a while, you are in trouble.
And the pitch play goes to Jason Kostick for his first carry today. He gets about 2 yards. Down at 8.
So like you mentioned, Lake Central still got to play Cheshire. They still got to play Maryville. They still got to play Valpo. It's going to get worse before it gets better here this year. But it will take time, and Coach Good will get them there. The community's bought in. We had a great crowd here tonight, and the boys have continue to listen to what he's saying and buy in and get in the weight room and continue what they're doing.
3rd and 8 here for Crown Point, and a penalty marker down. Just to give the schedule for Lake Central. At LaPorte next week, home against Michigan City, and then check this final 3 stretch out. At Chesterton, home against Maryville, and you just got to travel to Valpo. End of the year.
Yeah, that's welcome to the Doolin, right, Coach Good? That's the way it is. And, all that does is get you ready for the postseason. And their Section of 1 is very competitive, and so there is no easy road. And, iron sharpens iron, Lucas, and you've seen it, and they'll get better, and they'll be fine. But it takes a while. People want to fall in love with winning real quick, but it takes a while to get there and be able to sustain it for overtime.
Taiwan pushing forward on a 3rd and 14 across the 30. And it's 4th down and about 6 for Crown Point.
And on the other side, you got Crown Point, who's also very young. And Coach Bizia, like we mentioned, he's a fantastic coach. He's got a great staff. Man, the community's really been supportive of his program. He's gotten out and shaking hands and getting community involvement. And you mentioned Dave Uran earlier. He's a very athletic-oriented mayor, and they're going to get behind him. And as long as he wants to be there, they're going to be competitive in the Doolin.
J.J. Johnson takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He fumbled the pass, and Johnson falls on top of it.
Malaski was wide open. No, sorry, that was Randy Locke. Randy Locke was wide open over there in the flat.
And it might have been a touchdown. Not sure if there was even a safety back there.
Man, that was wide open.
Last time I saw that, the football thrown behind the head, was all the way back in the 2016 MAC championship game. Quentin Maxwell for the Ohio Bobcats. It's been a while. Now, J.J. Johnson won't find the bench. Quentin Maxwell ended up playing D3 football the next year. So I think it's going to work out better for J.J. after that small mistake.
Yeah, I think he's going to be okay. But you can always count on you for the great MAC references from 2016.
Yeah,
there's
that was
not
a big,
too many.
MAC champion. Do you know who's in that game? Corey Davis.
Well, Roethlisberger came from the MAC, didn't he?
Yep, Miami.
There you go.
Antonio Brown, big start last night, MAC player. 90 ran down from behind. And that time on the tackle, great job by Liam Begley from the linebacker position to make that tackle.
Yeah, Crown Point's got to keep their energy. Don't get, passive. They need to continue to do what's got them here. Maintain the pressure on Lake Central. Don't let them back in the game. Don't let them do it. There is still time. It's happened before, so keep them down and, play to the final buzzer.
Another random player from that 2016 game was Cowboys defensive lineman Terrell Basham, who you saw last night as well.
Yeah.
And that's all the random facts I have from that game.
I'm sure you have more, but
I won't share.
You won't share.
I'll share them with you during the break. 35-7 Crown Point in the lead and trying to get a stop on a 4th down when we return. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals, and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Tech Credit Union is the better option for personal and business banking. Buy a car, remodel your home, pay for an education, expand your business. Tech Credit Union can help you do these things and more. You'll enjoy the latest banking services, but without the cost of the big bank relationship. With branches throughout the region, fee-free ATMs nationwide, and online services, they're convenient too. Learn more at techcu.org. Contact any branch or call 800-276-TECH. Tech Credit Union is an equal opportunity lender and federally insured by the NCUA.
Second down and 9, Lake Central. Big welcome back to Game Night on the Region Sports Network. Doug Nelson to my left, I'm Lucas Moore. Zach Miller, our game producer. We got Joe Colvin on video up top, doing a great job. As usual, this Lake Central team finds himself down 28 points, 90. Won't be able to get rid of it, and he's sacked. Once again, Matt Woods, second time he's got 90 down tonight. And the inside linebacker has been a big part of this really impressive defensive performance from Crown Point.
Yeah, the tailback there, Williams, kind of went on a swing pass, and that kind of just emptied the way for the linebacker to put pressure on the quarterback. Again, you're kind of rolling dice, and you have third and close to 20 here for Lake Central again. You know, how do you want to handle it moving forward? Are you going to work on things that you know, you can't emulate game reps? These are things you're going to work on, and you know, tomorrow morning they'll look at it during film and figure out what we can do better next time.
And whistle on the field, timeout taken. Rick Good will use a timeout. We'll go ahead and take one with him. Crown Point, big-time lead. Lake Central, third down and 20, we return. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
It's been said that one man's junk is another man's treasure. But at Total Disposal, your junk is our junk. Think of Total Disposal as that key player that has several options: commercial, residential, or hand off your junk at our Blaine Street Partners transfer station. Total Disposal is more than a service provider. We are an innovator for a sustainable tomorrow, well beyond the curb. For a complete list of services, go to TotalDisposal.com. Honesty and dependability, that's the Total Disposal promise.
The team of sports medicine experts at Orthopedic Specialists of Northwest Indiana is committed to getting athletes back in the game, with a focus on not only helping patients recover from injuries, but helping improve athletic performance to prevent injuries. Orthopedic Specialists provides the most advanced, comprehensive care to their patients. To learn more about all orthopedic specialists can do to help rehab and prevent athletic injuries, visit them on the web at osni.org or call them at 219-923-3300.
Third down and 20, handoff to Williams just for 2 yards, and a 4th and 18, and most likely a punt for Lake Central upcoming.
That's another good stop by Crown Point defense. Like we said, they're doing a great job tonight.
It just feels like I'm going back through this game in my head. In those 2 plays from Delich at the end of the half, I think was just the good night.
It was demoralizing, and there was no reason for it, Lucas. We talked about it. Where was the safety? I don't understand. That took so much energy out of the stadium. I don't understand what happened.
Diego Garcia back to punt. Hits it high into the night sky. And a fair catch made by Sopchak. And that's where Crown Point will take over. Just to remind you what we're talking about, Crown Point jumped out to a 14-0 lead. They had a beneficial turnover on the first play of the game that put them up 7-0 after they punched in from 20 yards. That was actually the first points of the season Lake Central had given up defensively. The only 7 they gave up was last week against Portage on a 77-yard pick 6 on a screen play. So it hadn't exactly been easy to score against Lake Central, and Crown Point did it off a turnover. Then they did it on a regular long drive, capped off by a J.J. Johnson touchdown. Lake Central bounced back, got up 14-7 before the end of half. But then Crown Point and Landon Delich, 2 big plays with 24 seconds left, put them up 21-7. Crown Point comes out, uses the run game effectively, knocks off 6 minutes. It got to 28-7. Turnover on the kickoff. You're at 35-7, and that's where we stand.
Yeah, and right now they're doing a good job. They're getting other guys in the game. That was looked like Xavier Ma is in the backfield with the quarterback right now. giving the guys some reps and giving some other guys some rest.
Johnson, quick pass, outright. Bodie Barant with the catch and sprint forward, but lost a yard. Third down and 11 for Crown Point. And I go to the injuries for Lake Central, Doug, to try to explain, how we got to this point. Carter Schuster expected to start tonight. He's out. We haven't seen Dominic Cotton for a lot of days. He's out there right now, but he was an expected starter on this defensive line. He did not play for a lot of tonight. Max Kriesbaum also missing tonight. These are all starters.
Yeah, that again, that hurts tonight, but it'll add to the depth of the program later on. And
Jason Kostick on the carry there for the first down.
Yeah, that's a great job moving the chains, and that offensive line has been dominating this game all night. But anyway, the depth will be helped. It's going to hurt tonight. We see some guys, not suited up, guys maybe on crutches here tonight. So hopefully they get better so they can get back on the field. But that has paid a toll on tonight's outcome.
As Woodrick makes the catch for about a 4 or 5 yard pickup. Yeah, and if you're Lake Central, you look through the schedule, and you're going to be playing upset ball pretty much the rest of the way. Maybe against LaPorte, you might be favored technically, if there were such a thing as favorites, underdogs in the common sense in high school football, as that run up the middle going nowhere for Kostick. 2 yard loss on the play.
That's a great effort by Lake Central. They're competing. That's all you can ask for. But again, like you said, yes, you have to hope that playing against good people every day, week in, every Friday night is going to get you ready for the postseason. And then, talent comes in cycles. It really does. And when you have a school as big as Lake Central, you get in the weight room, you commit to the program, and commit to what Coach Good's talking about every day. Good things will happen.
Pitch and catch and a lot of room to run for Nathan Woodrick inside the 20 and prancing into the end zone. And Nathan Woodrick finds himself 6, and Crown Point up 41-7.
Yeah, the last couple minutes of that first half, boy, did that change everything?
Yeah.
My goodness.
Change the momentum, change the feel, change the crowd, change the strategy. And those 2 plays from Landon Delich, if you want to rewind on the Facebook, if you didn't have a chance to see them, they were just before halftime, almost 70 yards by himself. And that's the only 2 catches he's had tonight. He hasn't had a catch since.
Yeah.
Kick is up, and it is good. That was a backup kicker from Crown Point. Cody Fischel on the kick. Makes it, and it's 42-7. 35-point lead, Crown Point. It's all about the business and the numbers as we run down the stretch here. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
At Toyota of Maryville, we take pride in being a one-stop shop for anything Toyota related. The best part of the Toyota Maryville experience is that we make it easy to do business with us. We have a committed team of professionals that's here to help you do just that. When you come in for service, we will welcome you and have plenty of staff on hand to handle your needs. And if you're looking for a new or pre-owned vehicle, Toyota of Maryville sales team is the best in the business to help you with your buying decision. We practice what we preach. When we say we make it easy, that's exactly what we do.
.42-7, Crown Point in the lead over Lake Central. Big time touchdown catch and run to Nathan Woodrick from J.J. Johnson, who J.J. has been involved in almost every touchdown. Only one he wasn't involved in, and was a handoff to Elijah Taiwan.
I'll tell you what, with the conference, as many athletes and great quarterbacks as we have, J.J. Johnson's kind of been overlooked. He's impressed me tonight. I really like to watch him play.
Quarterback play in the DAC, good as usual. And Lake Central almost fumbled another kickoff. Mary Rand and the Parks Athletics Communication Entertainment Department invite everyone to Bulldog Park to celebrate Oktoberfest, Saturday, October 2nd. Join us for the region's premier fall festival. That's Oktoberfest on Saturday, October 2nd at Bulldog Park. And also, if you're looking to buy or sell a home in the Chicagoland area, the Tiffany Dowling group of Keller Williams Realty are the ones you want to call. They're going to get your home sold faster and for top dollar. Most importantly, they'll make it an experience that you can enjoy. And if you're not already enjoying the speed and the top dollar, they're going to even add to that, make it an experience you can enjoy. That's the Tiffany Dowling group of Keller Williams Realty. Play moves left side as Escobedo with his first catch tonight. And it's 2nd and 5. Clock is running with the score at a 35-point differential.
This is good. Again, like we talked about, these are reps that you cannot emulate. I think Lake Central and Crown Point are both emptying their bench a little bit, getting some guys reps. And any rep is good. And these are both relatively young teams, and they'll be back, and better days are ahead for both.
2nd down and 5. Handoff right side, trying to poke along the line. The Lake Central running back Brooks won't be able to get anywhere. Clock is running. If your car's not running, you might want to check out Toyota of Maryville, and we want to thank them for sponsoring high school football right here on the Region Sports Network. And when you're looking for your next new or pre-owned vehicle, visit Toyota of Maryville. We make it easy. And remember, stay with us after the game or shortly before the game's conclusion for the Crown Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. Crown Companies have offices open from 9 to 7, Monday through Friday, and Saturdays till 2 in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City. They are the insurance superheroes. We'll also name our IKOR-CC play of the game, as that one pitch and catch right side for no gain, and it's 4th down for Lake Central. And that's brought to you by the Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters. Build your future at IKORCC.com. And we'll also have the blue collar play of the game, brought to you by, once again, Great Lakes Roofing. They're Chicagoland's #1 commercial roofing contractor on the web at greatlakesroof.com. Call 886-551-7121 for a free estimate.
Nobody back for Crown Point.
And the ball will bounce into the arms of a Lake Central player. And the clock moving, 4:49. And it's been all Crown Point. Right now, they're at, oh man, I'm bad at math, 28 unanswered points. I tried to say 35 like 3 or 4 times. I had to do that math in my head. It was unbelievable.
It's that Mac education right there.
No, it's that journalism education.
There you go.
You
tested out a math.
I wasn't
college,
allowed to
sure.
vote the last time I took a math class, okay? Wasn't allowed to vote.
Probably that whole Common Core stuff. Yeah.
1st down and 10 for Crown Point running out this game. This Bulldogs team will move to 500 in both their overall record and their DAC record. As the handoff that time to Tommy Guadagno, a freshman running back, getting his first run for Crown Point. Well, we've got our awards here, and with the running clock and not the starters on the field right now, Doug's putting together the awards right now. We'll do them here in just a few seconds. We've got 3 awards to give out: our superhero of the game, our play of the game, and our blue-collar player of the game. The play of the game brought to you by IKORCC. The superhero of the game brought to you by Crown Companies. And our blue-collar player of the game brought to you by Great Lakes Roofing. Handoff right side, a big-time yardage, and a 1st down for Crown Point. All right, let's go ahead and name them. The Crown Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. Crown Companies, they have offices open from 9 to 7, Monday through Friday, and Saturdays till just 2 in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City. They are the insurance superheroes, and they're proud to recognize the superheroes on the football field. Your player of the game tonight, your superhero of the game.
I had to go with the Crown Point quarterback, J.J. Johnson. He's a junior. Just did a great job of controlling the ball game, controlling the tempo, controlling the clock, controlling the play clock. He was in tune with his offensive coordinator and moved the Bulldogs for most of the night, and they did just about whatever they wanted to do.
And a blown-up play from Lake Central, a bad snap from Crown Point. So J.J. Johnson, our Crown Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the Game, deserve it as well. 5 touchdowns total tonight from the Crown Point Junior. It's now also time to name the play of the game. presented by IKORCC, the Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters. Learn more at IKORCC.com, and I think this one's fairly obvious. End of the half, 25-yard jump ball to Landon Delich in the back corner of the end zone for Crown Point. That put them up 21-7, Doug, and it really was from that point on that Crown Point was the dominant football team.
It's just amazing how the entire energy of this stadium changed within the last 2 or 3 minutes of the first half, and those are the plays you're talking about. Just unbelievable that they can go back and look at those plays right there, and that's how this game changed absolutely.
And that was our IKORCC play of the game, brought to you by the Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters. Learn more at IKORCC.com, where you can find training, professionalism, and partnerships for economic development. Again, a 25-yard touchdown pass for Crown Point. Johnson to Delich. Johnson to Delich. That's our IKORCC play of the game. As we take a look at the field, just to run up the middle for Crown Point. Now it's time for our blue-collar player of the game. This one brought to you by Great Lakes Roofing. They are Chicagoland's #1 commercial roofing contractor. Call 886-551-7121, 886-551-7121 for a free estimate. Doug, your Great Lakes Roofing blue-collar player of the game tonight?
Lucas, might be a weird choice, but my choice for tonight for the blue-collar player of the game is the running back from Lake Central, Xavier Williams. I like how he responded after fumbling the first play of the game. He stayed with it. He had some big runs there in the first half and kept him in the game in the first half. The game flow did not allow for much work out of him in the second half. I think the young man responded well and competed all night, where he could have put his head down a little bit.
Yeah, with the thumb brace on,
absolutely.
too.
So I thought he fought through it and did a great job tonight.
Tough night for Lake Central, but a tough effort from Xavier Williams. As Crown Point officially now, as they're shaking hands as the clock runs out, 2-2 and 1-1. The Great Lakes Roofing Blue Collar Player of the Game, brought to you by Chicagoland's #1 commercial roofing contractor. They're on the web, greatlakesroof.com. That was Xavier Williams of Lake Central. The sophomore finds his way to our award sheet once again. We'll have a little bit of breakdown on the other side of the break of this one. Crown Point ends up with a blowout. Wasn't like that the whole way. We'll tell you how we got to this score and break down this one on the other side. You're watching Game Night. Crown Point 2-2 now, and Lake Central falls for the first time in the 2021 season. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
If you work with industrial, pneumatics, or hydraulics, and you're in need of maintenance or repair, you need the right connection. For over 20 years, Hose Connections in Hammond has been the premier leader in the hydraulics industry. Hose Connections is a one-stop shop for sales and service of pneumatics and hydraulics. Hose Connections continues to grow their network of industry contacts, which allows them to meet even your toughest expectations. To learn more, visit HoseConnectionsInc.com. Hose Connections in Hammond. Proven under pressure.
Are you a steel hauler? Come work for Area Transportation. You must have a current valid Class A commercial driver's license and at least 1 year of recent verifiable steel hauling experience and at least 2 years of recent verifiable interstate experience operating a commercial motor vehicle.
Hi, I'm Amanda, the driver recruiter at Area Transportation, where we pay more because we value our drivers.
Call recruiting at 1-855-400-6939. That's 1-855-400-6939.
Today's coverage is brought to you in part by Centier Bank. With branches across Northwest Indiana, Centier Bank is a proud member of communities throughout the region, and they stand firmly behind their not-for-sale commitment. To learn more about how Centier Bank provides wow banking and investment experiences in Northwest Indiana, visit them online at Centier.com.
Crown Point victorious. They advanced to 2-2 and 1-1 in DAC play, while giving Lake Central their first loss of the year as the Indians fall to 3-1 and 1-1 in DAC play. That number 7 ranking for Lake Central in our RSN Top 10 probably won't last, especially given Crown Point was unranked in our rankings and they maybe felt like they should be. Certainly proved it tonight with a 42-7 victory over Lake Central. It wasn't a 42-7 talent differential, though, Doug. I thought this game really just turned on its head at the end of the first half, and it was just all Bulldogs after that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if nothing else, it'll be a little eye-opener for Lake Central. They'll get back to work, and then like I said, it's much easier to learn from a loss. The kids would love to say they're learning from wins, but it's much easier for a coach to say, look, this is why we need to get better right now. This is it. And the biggest what indication will be how things are going was how they respond next week. I know it doesn't get easier on the schedule, but how their effort is this week, how their attitudes continue, and do they compete for 4 quarters? That's all you can ask for from Coach Good.
Well, Xavier Williams said it's a new culture. It's a new Lake Central. Well, they'll need to prove that. How do you bounce back? That's a true indication of culture. It's not about how you act after you win. It's about how you respond when you lose, especially the way that the Indians lost tonight. They had this crowd, this full crowd at the Burial Grounds, one of the biggest crowds you'll see in Northwest Indiana, jumping. I mean, electric, loud, excited. 14-7 was the score. End of the half, Crown Point with the football. After Lake Central was a bit conservative offensively, almost 70 yards in just 2 plays. They started just beyond the 30, 1 run play by Taiwan, and then a toss down the sideline to Landon Delich. Gets down to the 25. The next play, same play. Landon Delich, Moss, toe-tapping, touchdown at the back line of the end zone. And it was 21-7, and Crown Point got to lean on the run game that was doing so well. They drive 5.5 minutes to start the second half because they started with the football. All of a sudden, they're up 28-7, and you could pretty much forget about it if you're Lake Central. It went from we're right there about to tie this game to we're down 28-7 in what felt like a blink of an eye.
Well, and you talked about it, but we were talking about it in other ways, but that's the importance of attention to detail. One turnover can snowball and turn into 2 or 3, or one bad play can snowball and turn into 2 or 3. You got to stop it, nip it in the bud, control that, and try to get the momentum back in your direction. But I think, Lucas, you're looking at 2 teams that are going in the right direction. Like I said,
well coached,
well prepared. They're going to get healthier. They're going to continue to get better, and all that does is just make the dueling that much tougher because it's tough to get better in the dueling. Like we mentioned before, the other teams don't wait up for you. They're continuing to compete also. So I'm happy for Coach Good and the community. And, of course, Coach Bazia is doing a great job at Crown Point. So it's an exciting time here in Lake County for football.
Well, speaking of the Duneland, that's all that's left on both of these teams' schedule. Here's just the order of how it goes. Let's just take a look at next week for both of these teams. You know the Duneland. You know everybody that they're going to play. Crown Point already got Maryville out of the way. Lake Central did not. But next week feels like a winnable game for both of these teams. Crown Point heads to Portage. Portage, a team that Lake Central ended up beating, and we saw the score tonight from Crown Point. So if you do that connective math, maybe Crown Point is a favorite against Portage next week. Meanwhile, Lake Central heading to LaPorte, one of the 3 teams that had a losing record overall heading into tonight, along with Crown Point. So nothing guaranteed in the first road game since the opening week for Lake Central. Just kind of your thoughts from the 2 games next week.
And absolutely, I think Lake Central is going to play LaPorte, and it's going to see how they respond. That's how and then Coach Good's going to do that. He's gone through this before. But you're dealing with LaPorte, who's got an injured quarterback. He tore his ACL earlier in the year.
It's the most winnable game left on the schedule for Lake Central.
Yeah, and Coach Good will stress that. The hardest part of that would be the long bus trip. That's a factor. That's a factor, and that's a long drive. So in Crown Point, going back to Portage, and Bazia going back to Portage and competing there, and again, a lot of times in high school, as teams that we've coached, we've talked about you are your own greatest opponent. How you compete. Are you going to hurt yourself as a team, or are you going to give yourself a chance to compete and win and fight for your teammates? But the team that makes the fewest mistakes moving forward will do well. And I was really impressed with J.J. Johnson, and they're very young and they're skilled guys, and Lake Central is just going to get better also. So it's an exciting time for the Duneland. It really is. It's. I know I've said that over and over, but being a Duneland guy, and there's nothing but brighter days ahead for the Duneland teams in the postseason too. So it'll be fun.
It's hard to imagine how the days get any brighter. I mean, what are you going, Gandalf the White to Gandalf the Whiter? I mean, I don't even know how the DAC gets any more intimidating or better than it already is. But with the way these 2 teams who've been around the middle/bottom of this conference over the last few years, having the type of talent that they have, it's hard to imagine what you're saying not coming to fruition, Doug. It's been It's been a fun night. It
Absolutely.
was a much better game than 42-7.
Yeah, for sure.
It just kind of got out of hand for Lake Central there. And hey, Lake Central still the first 3-0 start since 2012. This is your best starting record since you won the conference back in 2014. Back in 2016.
Yeah.
Back in 2014. Last back-to-back DAC wins was 2016. It's been a long time since Lake Central's been even competitive. And they were competitive for large stretches of this game. The job Rick Good has done from year to year, impressive. And we'll see how much he can impress moving forward for Lake Central, because it just feels like the vibe has really changed. I believe the culture's changed, and they'll have a chance to prove it with a bounce back next week.
Yeah, it's all about, like we've mentioned, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And, it's not even just a one-year marathon. It's being able to sustain yourself, and Lake Central's got a big enough school, and people from the outside are like, how can they be bad? They have so many kids. Well, it takes more than talent, It takes some heart, takes some grit, takes some buy-in. They've got great facilities, and as soon as he, continues that, and he'll get some more support from the community, and he'll be on a fun ride, just as Coach Bazia will be as well.
Well, it's not a marathon of a season, but it's a sprint that we're going to do to get out of here.
Yeah.
We want to thank everybody for listening to this game tonight. Really an excellent crowd, an excellent environment, and an excellent broadcast to be a part of. We want to thank our executive producer, Chris Ramirez, our coordinating producer, Nathan Laird. Our game producer did a great job tonight, Zach Miller. Video up top, Joe Colvin. We want to thank the athletic director here at Lake Central, Chris Enyart. We want to thank the coaches, Rick Good and Craig Buzia. And we want to thank the viewers at Facebook.com/Region Sports, Facebook.com/Crown Point Sports, RegionSports.com, and CrownPointSports.com. Crown Point advances to 2-2 and 1-1 in DAC play. Lake Central loses their first game of the year, now 3-1 and 1-1 in the Duneland Athletic Conference. For Doug Nelson to my left, I'm Lucas Moore. Final score one more time: Crown Point 42, Lake Central 7. I want to thank you so much for watching our broadcast tonight from the burial grounds. Thank you, and we'll see you next time. You've been watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network. It's the only game in town.